Mind power. Life is a tireless and very dynamic journey. The human being learns as age advances, time, and thus cultivates the experiences of yesterday. Not in vain does time pass. The present is only a conclusive of experiences that have been lived. Destiny is not written, but we can dream and create our own. The universal energy we have in our environment can help us conquer those dreams, and it can even help us along with our will to realize, materialize, those dreams. It's not easy, we know it, it's not immediate, we know it, but if you don't start today, it would be one less day of greatness, happiness, and enjoyment. Personal development is infinite, we will get where we propose in life. The afterlife is just an idea, the end is the reality of our imagination. The energy of our inner being is only comparable to that of the universe. Together, they are powerful and forceful tools that we can use to our advantage. The I can only words that together are able to energize our inner being and thus achieve what we want, dream, glimpse, would help us to materialize and live in our own flesh the illusion of well-being, of overcoming setbacks, of continuing to live here and in the afterlife. Beliefs are universal, unique. Every human being can choose his or her belief. Every human being is free to follow ideologies, beings of light, religious protagonists, apostles suggested by spiritual guides, or simply leaders. Success is only achieved with the practice of mental work techniques. These techniques, called work elements, may be more than those indicated in this relaxing presentation. The end justifies the techniques. The materialization of the desired will be the conclusive, palpable, and lived of what was dreamed. So, if we want something we have to work to get it. With practice and perseverance, you achieve what you want. Some follow a pattern of activities to achieve this, others do not know the paths. The techniques, the tools, the elements, and others only live in the present. Routine overwhelms the human being, and so his dreams. Attachment to the material clouds creative ideas, and controls thought. We know that money is needed, we need it to pay bills and cope with month expenses. But, we do not know other things, such as life is simple, nature awaits us every day of our lives to explore new feelings, emotions, and experiences. Which brings back good memories. But we tend to forget that nature, and we fall into the routine of life meaningless, overwhelming, and forever. We become beings of time, we are bought by ideas, dreams. We are slaves to nonsense. Let us feel the energy that surrounds us, let us shelter a tree, let us step on the earth with bare feet, let us observe the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, so we will not forget our surroundings. Some ways people used to philosophically tell truths, so that others would know other perspectives of life, of human behavior, of the subconscious that we all have and that is part of our lives, we know very little. I remember thinking about how to get out of a disturbing situation. There were no possibilities to make money, all had been exhausted, there were no mechanics to repair the car, there were no technicians to repair a refrigerator, there was not even transport to get to the nearest town. Life was put in a thread of difficulties with the underworld lurking, disturbing every night and day, harassing the tranquility that remained. For example, the trip to the town for food and medicine was asking others to driven us to get things done, if they had a car, or by walking, or simply in the street itself raising our finger to ask for a tail, ride, and so on thus reach their destination. At home without electricity, with only 8 hours of electric service a day, the water was missing for more than 60 days, and when the precious liquid finally arrived, you had to let it run because it came dirty, and not usable or drinkable. With pumps you had to pull what was left in the pipe to fill tanks and more tanks, to be able to withstand the 60-day cycle without the precious liquid. We told ourselves, we must pass, overcome, reverse this situation, but the way to achieve it was covered with thorns. There will always be obstacles, people who will take advantage of your situation, people who hypocritically help you, but then take your eyes out. That's normal, and you should expect it to happen. The important thing is to stay focused on what you want. See as in a tunnel, along an end, the light will be presented as time goes on. With great courage, we began to work with working techniques to make our dreams come true, which was nothing more than looking for a new reality, perspective and quality of life. Below, we will give you some techniques that inspired our mental power. That they gave us a new reality of life. Focused on a different vision of our reality, both physical and spiritual, the virtual turned into material, a drawing printed in 3 dimensions with colors and feelings. It is very important to recognize that there is a universal energy, which, together with our global world, and what involves the galaxy where we are will be the basis of our destiny. Intuition. It begins with paying attention to the strong visualizations of something you want, need, visualize as if you see it materialized. Remember that inner consciousness leads to physical reality, the materialization of the desired. You must repeat it several times in your mind once you have intuited something, however you want what you are intuiting to happen. Sometimes there are events that we intuit and we cannot change their reality. Those moments are real challenges because they are realities that we do not want to materialize, for example, the death of a loved one, a traumatic event, etc. These events escape our ability to correct them and modify them. Each element has its reality, each being your destiny. But there are events that we can control, change, and predict. The good ones, by repeating the positive event we already had, we will give strength and energy to the new intuited. The inner thought of one to the future is a premonition or futuristic vision of reality to pass. For example, I have a hunch that I'm going to win. Affirmations. Your inner power will synchronize the energies of the universe to help realize what you want, which will give you success. To achieve this, you can follow these techniques of personal work. Let's look at its elements. With affirmations, the desired is reaffirmed. They must be firm, short, and precise sentences of your thought that you want to be a reality. A positive new consciousness, an example, I'm painting this very nice picture, I'm handling well, I'm listening and writing at a good pace. These judgments must be declaratory in the affirmative. They must be practiced regularly. Repetition is very important to fix thoughts and ideas in our mind. I would recommend doing it for an initial time of between 5 to 10 minutes. As we exercise repetition, it will be done naturally. It will be more efficient and easier to perform. The practice will improve the affirmative element. Positive aptitude. With the realization of a positive event achieved, positive aptitude is automatically expressed. One is enhanced and one should congratulate oneself. I achieved it. I reached it for my efforts. This leads to an inner peace that is reflected in personal humanity. It is expressed in many ways, such as health, vitality, prosperity, and above all willingness to continue fighting and achieving objectives set in the future. Creativity. Your mind creates your reality. It's a vision in your mind of what you want to be, you want to achieve. Dream creativity in the present is very important to us. Creating our image mentally will inspire us to undertake what is necessary to achieve it. It is important that you see yourself performing in the future the achievements established in those images. It is like a mirror that reflects your vision in the future. You will create your own destiny. Visualization. Visualizing is a technique employed by many successful people. Their careers are the result of their temporary, transient, or constant visualization of the desired ones. With meditation, observing oneself obtaining what one wants, such as winning a sports competition, analyzing all the events and situations of the competition, and achieving the trophy by listening to the national anthem of the country represented. This visualization can be prior to the competition, reviewing all the exercises and steps to follow for the achievement of the objective. I remember that when I practiced sports arch, the team psychologist told us to mentally place ourselves in the competition, to see ourselves competing in it, and to see the target in the distance, bring it closely, and visualize it as the hole in the center disappear from target, resulting in a perfect shot. This would consequently bring the visualization of the winner, trophy, and happiness of achievement. Belief. Universal energy works with us to achieve what is visualized, what we believe will happen, what we want to happen. Teamwork is very important. If you have a partner, the concentration of energies will double the effectiveness of that energy. The sowing of good ideas will be done with greater intensity and will cover more space from the virtual to the real in what you want. It will cover more, and the results will be greater and more palpable. The energy of believing must be concentrated on something specific. This will give more emphasis to the procedure. The results will be more concrete and will materialize faster. They will be notorious. But you must believe in yourself. You must be frank and draw from within, from yourself, the strength to overcome vicissitudes in life. We know that they are coming, but we must overcome them. Believe in ourselves going through those negative moments with certainty that we will overcome them. Let us remember that they are transient, and our belief that we can overcome it will be present and will help us to continue with our lives. Sowing. Universal energy works with us to achieve what is visualized. Teamwork is very important. If you have a partner, the concentration of energies will double the energy effectiveness. The sowing of good ideas will be done with greater intensity and will cover more virtual space in what you want. It will cover more, and the results will be greater and more palpable. The common energy must be concentrated on something specific. This will give more emphasis to the procedure, and the results will be more concrete. They will materialize faster. They will be notorious. The subconscious mind. The subconscious evaluates a situation in life differently than the conscious. It is important to have positive thoughts and educate the subconscious. This education is like that of a small human being. It must be constant and broad knowledge important for a good mental development. It must supply your unconscious with positive visions, creating for you the projection of those visions. The conscious mind is your gardener. Take care of what reaches the subconscious. The subconscious works independently in our being. It does not depend on the conscious to realize its desires. It is an unconscious within us developing activities that we cannot predict with our conscious. We only realize consciousness when an event passes before our eyes, and sometimes we think we had dreamed of it, which is known as a déjà vu. It is related to the sensitive part of the being, as affection, memory, is in short the development not controlled by the conscious. Many previous activities that have happened to us and that have marked an important moment in our lives is stored in the subconscious. An experience kept deep in our memory. In fact, we carry out activities that we are not aware that we do. Breathing is one of them. Some techniques are applied to change the data stored in the subconscious mind, for example to change a bad habit or change an inappropriate behavior. This technique is called hypnotism. Positive visualization is another technique, applied to help the human being to positively visualize something specific. Another technique applied by many specialists is that of sleep. Reality. A word that we feel and see, we feel. With the practice of combining the elements we analyze, we will be living our reality. Successfully, we will achieve our goals, our desires, and thus change adverse situations into positive ones. We will feel fulfilled spiritually and materially. Mentally, we will be ready for other challenges in life. It is important to note that the order of action to execute the elements is personal and must be unique to each individual or couple. Remember that there are more elements, which can be incorporated into your mental work. When we reach our goal, we must always remember the final element. Gratitude. Gratitude is the final part of the process of mental power. It is a personal activity that involves passivity and recognition of the good done, achieved. Gratitude must be oriented to the universe, and its positive energies, to the environment that surrounds us. Gratitude does good over ourselves, and is certainly part of our individual beliefs. The achievement of what was desired, to see it materialized, is an event without a doubt unique. Celebrating the event is very important. It will give us the necessary energy to undertake new goals and projects. Repeat this process without fear, and be protagonists of your own achievements. AP